and welcome to Wildcat News. I'm Alexis Martin.
And I'm Jackson Houston. Our top story tonight, Georgia voters are headed back to the polls just 4 weeks after the midterm elections to vote in a runoff election for Senate.
The whole nation is watching as incumbent Democrat Raphael Warnock and Republican Herschel Walker fight for the balance of power in the Senate. The Democratic Party previously held a majority, with Vice President Kamala Harris' tie-breaking vote in an evenly split Senate. The Democratic caucus hopes to gain an additional seat from the 2022 elections.
In election news, closer to home, a local councilman is moving from district council to council member at large. Renardo Johnson talked with Lexington Councilman James Brown about his goals to build a better community.
Since 2015, Lexington native James Brown has been the councilman for District 1 here in Lexington. That district covers most of the East End, Douglas Park, and Russell Cave neighborhoods. Since then, he has focused on the needs of his district, such as gentrification, infrastructure, and traffic. But now, he wants to do that on a bigger scale.
And what I plan to do and work a little more on is policy. And taking that 20,000-foot view for the whole city and addressing issues that way.
Along with creating policy, his 3 priorities in his new position are community safety, challenges to growth, and the connections needed to address all of the challenges. One of the ways he plans to meet his goal is to allocate the needs to put the people of Lexington first. He plans to use the city and state government money and policies to better the communities in areas of crime, housing, and infrastructure.
Figuring out the best way to have the biggest impact on the most amount of people with those funds, addressing those issues, I think is what we're going to need to do.
Opposed to day-to-day services and smaller-scale projects, he plans to look at things more holistically to create the change the community needs. In Lexington, Renardo Johnson, Wildcat News.
Citizens filled Tuesday's Lexington Town Council meeting to voice concerns over a proposal to increase the use of flock cameras. Flock cameras are license plate readers that are supposed to help police solve crimes. Mayor Linda Gorton and Police Chief Lawrence Weathers are pushing for 75 more flock cameras to be installed around Lexington. Some claim that the cameras are disproportionately placed in predominantly black neighborhoods. Others ask the chief to wait on expansion until the pilot program is complete, which is supposed to last another 10 months.
As senators around the nation get sworn in, the university has its own fresh faces set to take office in the Student Government Association. Michaela Hood has more.
The University of Kentucky's Student Government Association finalized their Fall 22 Freshman Senate after a race that started in August and finished in mid-October. The newly elected freshman senators, along with returning committee members, are now assuming their roles.
It's a really awesome thing because if you're a freshman, like Andrew was speaking, we see freshmen get elected to freshman senate, and some people sit there until they graduate as a senior.
SGA is a campus-wide organization. The goal of the group is to advocate for the entire student body and make sure all of their needs are met. SGA holds regular chamber meetings as well as on-campus involvement events for students. Applications for the 2023 spring elections open January 16th. All UK undergraduate and graduate students can apply on BB Involved. Student Body President Andrew Laws encourages students to step outside of their comfort zone and get involved.
Just put yourself out there, get out of your comfort zone, because that's where, growth is going to happen, I think.
Students can keep up with SGA updates on Instagram at UKSGA. Reporting from campus, this was Michaela Hood, Wildcat News.
A lack of rain may impact your search for the perfect Christmas tree this year. Catherine Duckworth has more.
For at least the last 2 years, Kentucky has experienced less than average rainfall. As long as the rain isn't falling, neither will the price you pay for your Christmas tree. Price increases stem from the challenges tree farmers face.
We don't have a way of irrigation. We just depend on the rain.
Dr. William Moody runs Memories Tree Farm in Lexington, Kentucky. Each spring, he plants approximately 200 seedlings in hopes that most of them will grow into healthy trees.
Usually we lose maybe 8 to 10% of the seedlings we plant due to drought.
Drought is just one of the challenges tree farmers like Dr. Moody face during the 6 to 12 years it takes to grow a Christmas tree.
So there's always diseases and insects and things of that nature that come into play, but you have to just be on the alert and watch for them and take care of it. So that's what we try to do.
During his 36 years of tree farming, he's learned which trees are most resistant to diseases and insect infestations, and he monitors the conditions. Through the years, he's planted different tree species to keep problems at bay. Despite the challenges that come with tree farming, Dr. Moody loves that he can help create lifelong memories for families. Many of his customers return each year. In Lexington, I'm Catherine Duckworth for Wildcat News.
Yesterday, the Supreme Court began to hear arguments for a free speech case involving religion. A Colorado web designer, Lori Smith, is arguing for her right as a business to refuse service to same-sex couples for wedding pages she creates. Smith cites her Christian faith as the reason for her refusals. Protesters gathered outside the court to voice their concerns over the discrimination. A ruling on the case may not be given until June.
Forbes posted an article Sunday morning claiming that during his 2016 presidential campaign, former President Donald Trump owed money to a foreign creditor with ties to North Korea. The article specifies this $19.8 million debt lasted until 5 months into his presidency. This concerns some, as candidates are required to disclose their financial reports while running for office. However, others point out the requirement does not include loans to companies.
Elon Musk, as the new owner of Twitter, has tweeted evidence of the long-fabled laptop of Hunter Biden. Musk posted a discussion the media company had in 2020 about what to do with provocative images of then-presidential candidate Joe Biden's son. Musk claims that the company was limiting free speech on the platform. Since purchasing the social media site, Musk has faced much criticism for his handling of the platform. With this reveal, Musk hopes to justify his purchase of the company and promote free speech on Twitter.
In world news, Russia continues to wage war against Ukraine with its most recent missile attack. Early Monday morning, Russia launched missiles towards Kiev in response to a drone strike in Moscow. The missiles damaged water supplies and electrical infrastructure. Ukraine was able to intercept over 60 of the missiles sent their way.
3 Nigerian stowaways were found aboard a ship bound for the Canary Islands last week. The men managed to stay above the oil tanker's rudder for the entirety of the 11-day voyage. The trio were escorted to Spanish hospitals where they were treated for dehydration and hypothermia.
Tim Burton's new show, Wednesday, a spin-off of the Addams Family franchise, has just broken a Netflix original record. The show was streamed for over 340 million hours, making it the most streamed show in a week by any English show on the platform. The title was held by Stranger Things 4 with just under 290 million hours in 1 week.
Coming up on Wildcat News, Catherine Duckworth gives us the latest in Lexington weather.
And Joseph Hadway updates you on the latest in sports. We'll be right back.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving. I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out?
Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
I'm a first-generation Filipino American. You don't always feel you're a part of the country you live in. It's this weird middle space sometimes that you have to live inside of. But when you meet others that are also living in that space, you'll learn to know that it's its own unique space too.
It's been a pretty dreary day outside today with all the rain. Although temperatures remain mild, tonight's low will be 56 degrees. If you're headed out tonight, use caution as there will be rain and patchy fog. There's a slight chance of overnight storms. Tomorrow's also going to be pretty dreary, and there's a chance for morning storms. We'll have off and on showers all day, and the high will peak around 65 degrees. Tomorrow's low will be around 50. Thursday, we'll see temperatures dropping, and we'll get a short break from the rain. The high will be 57 degrees, and the low will be 49. The break from the rain won't last long, though. Friday, the rain will return, along with slightly warmer daytime temperatures. The high will be 62, and the low will be 42. Don't get used to this warming, though. On Saturday, temperatures are expected to plunge into the 40s. Our daytime high will be 48 degrees, and nighttime low will be 37. Brr! If you aren't a fan of the cold, don't worry. We'll start to warm up again on Sunday and continue that trend headed into next week. Although temperatures are not quite as chilly as they have been the last few weeks, the cold weather will soon be here to stay. Here are some tips to keep your furry friends warm this winter.
We always recommend that they take short trips outside so that they don't get too cold, because there are certain risks associated with the cold weather. So just like humans, they can experience hypothermia and also frostbite. So we want to make sure that they're not left outside for long periods.
Jai Hamilton, an animal cruelty officer with Lexington Animal Control, says that keeping your pet inside on cold days is the best option to keep them safe and healthy. However, if you must leave your pet outdoors, monitor them and their water supply. If your pet begins to shiver or behave strangely, bring it inside.
So it's up for us to make sure that they have proper shelter, proper provisions to keep them safe. So in Lexington, all dogs outside have to have a proper shelter, which is a pretty typical doghouse, or something with 4 sides, a roof, a floor, with organic bedding.
To help owners follow the pet shelter law, the Lexington Humane Society has a crate rental program for pet owners in need of help creating a warm outdoor space for their furry friends. Remember, if it's too cold for you, it's probably too cold for your pet as well.
That's it for your Wildcat weather today. Now head over to Joseph Hadaway with sports.
Thanks, Catherine. The college football playoffs are here, and the matchups have been set. The number 1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs will take on the number 4 Ohio State Buckeyes in the Peach Bowl, and number 2 ranked Michigan will take on the TCU Horned Frogs in the Fiesta Bowl. Both matchups will take place on December 31st, with the winners moving on to face off in the college football championship game. Hall of Fame defensive back and former Jackson State head coach Deion Sanders has signed a 5-year deal to coach the University of Colorado. The Buffaloes, who went 1-11 this season, are looking to turn their football program around. Deion Sanders has turned the Jackson State football program around in less than 3 years, going undefeated in the regular season for the first time in program history. Sanders is excited about the opportunity, but stressed that he will be, quote, bringing his luggage with him. Moving to basketball, Kentucky took on Michigan in London on Sunday. The Cats took home the win with a score of 73-69. Cason Wallace led the team in points with 14, and Oscar Tshiebwe had his usual double-double. Coach John Calipari said that the team got away with this one, mentioning their poor free throw shooting percentage, and said that free throws will be a point of emphasis moving forward. The Cats will look to build on this matchup in a win against Yale, or in a matchup against Yale on December 10th. Finally, moving to soccer, the United States have been eliminated from the World Cup after losing 3-1 to Netherlands. The captain for USA Soccer, Tyler Adams, expressed his sadness after the loss, but says the team should keep their heads up for playing a great tournament. Netherlands will take on Argentina in the next round of the World Cup on December 9th. I am Joseph Hadaway, and that's all for your Wildcat Sports for today. After the break, we'll have some events happening around town to start celebrating the holidays. We'll be right back.
Worried about your friend but don't know how to reach out? You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR. It's so good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should.
Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why? My. Oh.
As finals week approaches, we could all use some holiday cheer.
Shelby Fox has just the thing with a special holiday update.
As the holiday season arrives, members of the Central Virginia Alumni Club gathered toys to donate to underprivileged children.
We chose the Toys for Tots 5 or 6 years ago, and everybody has wanted to continue it because it was so rewarding and so much fun for them.
The toy drive started to help the club fulfill a community service requirement and has since become a beloved tradition among club members.
Oh, it's just the whole Christmas atmosphere and being able to share Christmas.
The toy drive has undergone a few changes over the years, but even with the pandemic protocols, members still participated.
And last year we donated 150 toys, and we hope we're going to be able to beat that this year.
This year's collection started in October and will run until December 10th. Anyone can donate. In Richmond, Virginia, I'm Catherine Duckworth for Wildcat News.
Closer to home, there are a lot of holiday events going on. Here are some of the things you can get out to do. This evening, Manchester Music Hall is hosting Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, featuring the Coach Mitchell Band at 7 p.m. This event is in partnership with the Fayette Education Foundation, and all proceeds go to leadership and character development among students. The Lexington Ballet Company presents the Nutcracker December 9th through the 11th and December 16th through the 18th at the Lexington Opera House. There will be 8 shows in total, and you can purchase tickets online at the Opera House website. Have you ever wanted to meet the Grinch? He's having a meet and greet this Saturday, December 10th from 4 to 7 p.m. at Boho Beauty Salon and Spa. You should bring a toy for the toy drive or donate $5 to get a picture with the Grinch. Looking for a furry friend for the holidays? The Lexington Humane Society is holding an Empty the Shelters event and will have animals available to adopt at a reduced adoption fee now through December 11th. The Southern Lights drive-through display is currently happening at the Kentucky Horse Park. The event is $30 a carload and is open until New Year's Eve. There are plenty of events going on around the Lexington area, so be sure to get out and take advantage of all the festivities. Alexis and Jackson, back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Shelby, and thank you all for watching our Wildcat Newscast each Tuesday.
This is our final show for the semester, although our Wednesday crew will be back tomorrow with more. Good luck with finals. We'll see you next semester. From all of us here at Wildcat News,
Happy Holidays!